The Maine shooter, it turns of trans, non-binary mass shooters in the last few years, by far the largest group committing as a percentage of the population. Maybe rather than talking about guns, we should talk about lunatics pushing their gender-affirming BS on our kids. That was the quote that the shooter liked from Donald Trump Jr. The tweet that he liked from Dinesh D'Souza read, quote, ban assault weapons? Well, cars kill more people than guns do, but we blame the drivers. We don't ban large or fast cars. We understand that cars, like guns, don't act by themselves. The blame lies with the people who operate these mechanical devices. Common sense 101. So here we've got a shooter who is a big fan of right-wing influencers and, you know, running around with guns killing people, and nobody's mentioning this. I'm scratching my head. What's going on here with this? I mean, this guy is well, first of all, they don't even know if he's still alive. There's speculation now he might have, you know, crawled out in the woods and committed suicide. Nobody's really sure where he is or what's going on. But this is a guy who has military training. He's in the Army since 2002. He's in the reserves now. He's a firearms instructor, and he got a weapon of war. You know, just like walk into a store and buy one. What kind of crazy country is this that we sell weapons of war on our streets? President Biden just came out and said, you know, it's time for a ban on assault weapons. In fact, here's exactly what he said. He said, today in the wake of yet another tragedy, I urge Republican lawmakers in Congress to fulfill their duty to protect the American people. Work with us to pass a bill banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, to enact universal background checks, to require safe storage of guns, and to end immunity from liability for gun manufacturers. This is the very least we owe every American who will now bear the scars, physical and mental, of this latest attack. That's our message from President Biden. Now, do you think the Republicans in Congress are going to pay any attention to this? Are they going to follow through with this? Are they going to ban assault weapons? Well, no. I mean, you know, Bill Clinton got this thing pushed through back in the 90s. In fact, it was 1995 or 1996. And, you know, there were plenty of Republicans in Congress at that time, and many of them voted for it. I mean, it's just common sense. Do you want weapons of war on the streets? There's a reason why you can't buy a shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile. There's a reason why you can't buy a grenade launcher. There's a reason why you can't own hand grenades. There's a reason why fully automatic machine guns are outlawed, or not outlawed, but, you know, very, very limited in who can get them. Why don't we apply those same limitations? These are weapons of war. They're designed to kill a lot of people very quickly, like 22 people really, really rapidly in a bowling alley. That's what they're designed for. That's all they're designed for. You can't use them to hunt. I mean, you shoot a squirrel or a rabbit or even a deer with an AR-15, you're going to have a mess. In fact, it's one of the reasons they haven't been able to identify 10 of the people who've been brought into the hospital now who are dead, because their faces are blown apart. They're having to do DNA to identify some of these people. This is what these weapons of war do. And yet, you can, you know, anybody who's 18 years old or older can just walk in, and younger than that, hell, if they go to a you know, one of these non-legal, well, they're not illegal, but, you know, these gun show, it's the gun show loophole, basically. They call them gun shows, but they're just retail opportunities. Well, I guess they are gun shows. Car shows, you can buy a car. But you can just go in and buy one. No background check even. I mean, how crazy are we as a country? How, you know, and why would the entire Republican Party be down with this NRA talking point that we've got to have more guns? I mean, we all know it's not keep making us safer. Guns are now the leading cause of death among our children. We have now surpassed 500 mass shootings for this year. Back in 2018, the entire year saw only 335. In 2019, the entire year saw only 414 mass shootings. And here we are, it's only, what, October? And we're past 500 mass shootings. Why is that? Well, because we've added 100 million guns in the last 15 years. And a lot of these mass shootings are insanely deadly because people are buying weapons of war. Now, I get it. The Republican Party takes money from the NRA. The NRA laundered millions of dollars in Russian money from Vladimir Putin in 2016 and poured it into the Trump campaign. And a lot of other Republicans got that Russian money and the NRA money and the money from the big weapons manufacturers. I get it. And apparently, buying off Republicans really does work. We see it with Clarence Thomas, billionaire guy or rich buddy buys him a RV. Well, we'll talk about that later on in the program. But the bottom line is we have an entire political party that has been bought off by weapons manufacturers, the National Rifle Association. And the closest they can get to a rationalization for why every American should be able to walk into a gun store and walk out with a weapon of war, walk out with a semi-automatic weapon. The best they can come up with is, well, people need that to protect themselves, or people need that in case there's a civil war. Really? I mean, it's like you want to start a civil war. It seems like a reasonably good. 1 in 6 Americans, this is from Axios this morning, 1 in 6 Americans say that they have personally witnessed someone being shot. 1 in 6. Firearms are the top killer of children in our country. Gun deaths among children hit a record high. There were 305 school shootings last year, 230 by the first week of September of this year, according to the K-12 school shooting database. I'm with Joe Biden. We need to ban these things. This is a crime. But down in Georgia, they think they've got it figured out. The lieutenant governor, Burt Jones, Republican, he says, I got the solution. And he's encouraging Republicans in the Georgia legislature to pass his solution to this problem of school shootings and, the murder of our children. He says, pay teachers $10,000 each to carry guns in class. Like more guns is going to solve our problem of too many guns. Are these people stupid, or is this what the NRA is paying them for? Or is it both? I'm just blown away by this. We just stand around like we're powerless. Oh, gee, we can't do anything. I'm sorry, the Republicans are just too powerful. The Republicans are going to block it. Fox News isn't going to go along with this. Sean Hannity won't like it, so it's not going to happen. Dinesh D'Souza will trash you if you talk like this. Really? We're afraid of those people? Just because they're being bought off by the NRA?
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Just because they want to have their racist civil war at the end of times? We're going along with this?